Well, see, how the hell am I going to do this? How am I going to hold my beer,
Whoa, yeah.
have this mic here, and read from the book? It's impossible, dude.
You gotta put your beer in between your legs.
I don't know. You need an end table over here or something. We should make it more casual and sit on the couch. You know what I mean?
Does that look good on there? I can't really.
I can't see
The,
shit.
the screen is. So
I mean, I
fucking
can see
small.
it, but
That looks
pretty
good,
fucking
right?
close. Yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah, it's pretty
Sure.
close.
Where the fuck did I put my stuff? Hey guys. I don't know what other intro really to do, but Eric and Juicy. Juicy's got his arm repaired, so he's good to go.
6 weeks out of surgery, so I have been laying in bed for 6 weeks.
Yeah, not able to roll any
Doing
dice or anything.
Much of really anything. Yeah.
Feeling good though?
Better. Still painful to sleep. Yeah,
Okay.
sleeping's painful,
Okay.
driving's
Fair enough.
painful, stretching's painful, moving's painful. Yeah, but like sitting in the sofa is not painful, so that's good.
What about like showering and?
Painful.
I mean, luckily it was your left hand and you're right-handed, so like wiping your ass, you don't have
Yeah,
to
but
retrain.
you have to use your left arm to actually reach over and soap this side, and then you have to get underneath.
Ah,
this,
yeah.
This fucking hurts like a
Yeah, you're
pretty
right.
bad. So, yeah, and then back here hurts. This hurts. So yeah, it's interesting.
So you're having to like try and cover every part of your body with your right hand or your right arm.
As
and then-
much as I can, yeah.
Yeah.
And luckily I have a bidet, so I didn't have to actually worry about wiping. 'cause
That's true.
That's the right-handed nozzle, so.
I guess mine's right-handed as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
So didn't even.
Any
have
of
to
you
use
guys
the
that
left.
don't have bidets, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Those things are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I don't get swamp butt.
No,
Since I switched over, I've never got swamp butt
No,
since.
have you noticed though when you go to the bathroom someplace without the bidet, you feel dirty?
Yeah.
Like you're like,
Yeah, I just
"Ew."
avoid it. I try and avoid it for
Yeah.
the most part. Everyone always looks at me weird, like, "Oh, I don't know about that bidet thing, man," and I'm just like,
Oh, they look at us
"Whatever.
like, "What's
I don't
wrong
care."
with you?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Well, that's a waste of water." And I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Where's Tom? Tom loves bidets.
Yeah, right. I think he's too tall to use one.
He would be giving us shit right now.
Oh,
That's
yeah, he
Tom.
would.
All right.
Yep.
Anyways.
Tom, go ahead and leave a comment, buddy.
Yes.
Just
Tell
saying.
us what your preferred bidet would be. Would you like the fan stream or the jet stream?
Would you like cold or hot water?
Yeah.
Because I thought at first that I wanted a hot water one,
Yeah. No.
and the cold water actually kind of wakes you up a little bit.
It's nice. It
It's
cools
nice and
everything
refreshing.
down.
Yeah.
It actually brings your core body temperature down, I've noticed.
It feels like
kind of
it.
weird, yeah.
It feels like. I mean, I don't know if it really does. I haven't
Yeah, well.
tempt myself. With that being said, I think we're gonna go ahead and get into our video. The reason why we're here. We're gonna do top 5 monsters this time.
And heroes. Or no.
Well,
Titans.
Monsters/Titans slash things that have a monster designation that maybe it's not just monsters. Top 5 Titans.
Look at my fucking list, man.
Sorry. No, I was actually not. I was staring at your crotch. Is that better? Which one's worse?
I don't know.
Just kidding. I wasn't staring.
I'd prefer if you were looking at the list.
There you go.
Yeah, all right. You call my
Right.
bluff.
That's how you call a bluff right there. You brought up a good thing where you liked units, you liked monsters that kind of added synergy or that like synergize well with other units, right?
Yeah.
So
I went with, your monsters and titans that add a lot of synergy to your army that are useful in multiple ways other than just charging in, doing a few wounds, and then dying.
okay,
Yeah.
so
And I figured you were going to go with more of like, your self-sufficient kind of like, this unit is good at getting in there and wiping out something by itself. So I went the other way. That way
Okay.
we'd have, some variation in the list.
So I guess this opens up a good topic of discussion, and that is that really there's different ways of skinning a cat, right? I'm going to have my own top 5 list. Juicy's going to have his own top 5 list, and they're probably going to be pretty different. There might be a couple in there that are maybe on the list together, but maybe not the same rank. There's so many different ways of doing this, right? I mean, there's so many different ways of doing this, and it also kind of speaks to our play style. So Juicy utilizes monsters way differently than I do. And in an ironic way, I almost use monsters more with synergy sometimes than he does. He almost uses them more as like a hammer anvil or like a problem causing unit, whereas I almost try. It's weird. We're like switching roles here a little bit.
Yeah. Well, me and him off camera, we generally try and do weird stuff to each other, like run weird combos and stuff. And sometimes we just get absolutely shellacked.
These lists are they're meant for fun. Monsters, Titans, they can be utilized in many different ways, right? Biggest thing, I guess, is that when I'm building a list, I try and decide up front what, if I'm going to put a monster or Titan in this, what is the overall goal? What's the point? I like to have ones that can serve multiple points. That's definitely nice. Some of these monsters on here, you guys are going to go, what? We would never use those, whereas we would use these. That's okay. It's all right to have different opinions. It's all about having fun with the game that we all love. So with that, I'm excited to hear what your number 5 is, because it sounds like your list was super hard for you to write.
So it was hard to decide on number 1.
Well, let's start.
5
yeah,
was,
okay. All right.
Number 5 was pretty easy. So I have Greater Earth Elemental.
All right.
Which is just a solid number 5. I mean, it's a defense 6 fearless unit with, crushing 3 for 220 points. 230 depending on the army, 220 to 230. It is 230 actually.
Yep.
Dude, it just is amazing. You
Yeah.
give it a little bit of heal, and the thing just will not break. I mean, like, how many
Yeah.
games have we played where I just ran it into a unit I did not want you to kill, and I didn't want you to move with, and just stuck that whole unit there for 3-4 turns. It could be flank protection. It can be front line, like helping you get in there and lock down a front line. Well, yeah, it's just good for everything.
So my question to you then is, with the Greater Earth Elemental, would you go with that over the lesser? I'm sorry, the Obsidian Golem, not the lesser, but the regular Greater.
I mean, they're
Obsidian
basically
Golem.
the same.
Right, they literally are. I think the only difference is that one has brutal and one has like vicious melee. I think is the only difference.
Yeah, so the Greater Earth Elemental in nature, obviously that's got the brutal, and then the lesser or the Obsidian Golem, I think that one's got the vicious.
Okay.
It doesn't have a lot. It doesn't really have that many attacks, and it doesn't really have a really good attack profile.
Yeah, it's got like 4s, right?
Yeah, I think that the
What's
brutal's
the point of the
probably
vicious?
better.
I do too.
Yeah.
It's got crush 3.
Yeah,
Brutal's an automatic wound.
yeah, it's pointless. Vicious is kind of pointless for it.
Guys, when I say an automatic wound, I know brutal doesn't actually cause a wound, but what I mean is in combat resolution at the end, it's automatically a +1 towards your combat resolution. So in essence, it is like an auto wound. Okay, that's what I meant by brutal being an auto wound. Don't kill me in the comments for that. I know the brutal doesn't actually cause a wound.
Please do. Saying. I like seeing him get worked up and respond to people.
No.
Still
though, yeah. I mean, leave comments. Like, let us know which one. Like, let us know your guys' top 5 lists. Let us know which ones you guys love and hate. We love the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Please, we love it. Okay, so your number 5 is the Greater Earth Elemental. I have a tie at number 5, and this because we were talking about this earlier. I had to work my way backwards in this list. I actually started with number 1. I picked a unit, and I said, all right, here's like 7 or 8 units that I absolutely love that I think are the best Monsters Titans in the game. How do I whittle this down to 5? I picked 1, and I was like, okay, how's this one better than this one? And there was, at the end of it, there were 2 that I just could not leave off of the list. I had to put them on there. I couldn't really pick which one was better. And I know that one you're going to absolutely hate.
I mean, it's kind of cheating.
It ends up being a top 6.
You're supposed to pick 5. And it's 6.
I know. But just bear with me here. My top 5, I have a tie between the Beast of Nature. Okay?
Ugh.
I know, but I'll get to it in a second. All right?
Okay.
And the other one is the Free Dwarf, Greater Earth Elemental. So the reason why I love the Beast of Nature, the reason why I could not take that off the list, is the versatility that it gives. For 160 points.
To the Kingdoms of Men, yes.
It's also in Forces of Nature too, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in Forces of Nature too. It's in a couple different.
That's garbage in the Forces of Nature. They don't need it. They have other units that are way better.
They do, but there's so much versatility for 160 points. Okay, you're only getting 5 attacks unless you flank.
It's not 160 because you have to upgrade it for it to not be total dog shit.
But even if you do upgrade it, okay, just so you guys are aware, speed 7. It's got melee 3 up, okay, defense 5. So it's not horrible. Now it's only got 5 attacks.
Are you trying to rile me up? You knew that I was going to fucking give you shit about this pick.
Oh, yeah. It's crushing 2.
All right.
It's nimble. Nimble speed 7 is not bad, right? You can get a nice little juicy flank. You flank something even with the base 5. Now you got 10 attacks. Hitting on 3s with Crush 2, that's not horrible. For 160 points, that's not bad. Now, if you want to, oh, and it's vicious, and it's not vicious melee, it's vicious completely, which means if you get it, the stupid little shooting attack for 15 points, now those shooting attack is also vicious too. So that's nice. Having a dual threat for 15 points bumps it up to 185, and now you got a noxious mist shooting attack, which is, let's see, forgot to write on here what it does, but I'm guessing it's 4s to hit, if I remember right. I think it's like 10 attack. No, was it 7 shooting attacks? I can't remember exactly, guys. Remind me in the comments. But it is a shooting attack and 15 points, and you get vicious on it, which is nice. So now you got a dual threat.
This your number 6 though, out of everything else.
5A and 5A.
You think that belongs in a top 5?
I do, because you can also give it wings, so it can fly. So now you're looking at a flying monster for, what was that, wings, I think it's 30, so you're looking at 190. So for 190, you're talking about something that can fly.
And it has, what, 7 attacks?
5 attacks. But still, it's
5.
It's so, I think it's... and then
wow.
And then you also can give it 7 attacks with plus another 15 points.
Yeah.
So, I just think the versatility, and it's cheap. That's what I like about it. It's cheap. It's still going to punch. I still like the overall versatility of it. I could take it and tool it differently. You could take it and tool it differently, and it's not going to break the bank. That's why I like it. And then going on with the Greater Earth Elemental, you obviously know because you picked it for your number 5 too.
I agree with that.
The Greater Earth Elemental, guys, is, first of all, let's go over pretty much what you talked about as well. And that is that vicious melee on the Obsidian Golem. That's not bad. I'm not knocking it. But when you've got, let's see how many attacks. We got 12 attacks.
You're bringing it for the defense 6. You're not bringing it for the vicious melee.
Yeah.
Period.
You've got Crush 3.
So
you're hitting on 4s.
It's pretty pointless, to be honest.
Exactly. You're hitting on 4s.
It'll give you an extra wound or 2.
Maybe.
Yeah, because they don't have a lot of attacks anyway.
No, it's got 12. Yeah. It's got 12 attacks, guys. 12 attacks. The vicious, maybe you're going to bring back 1 or 2. Okay, that's cool. I mean, I guess if you need it, that's cool. But that's not the strength of that type of unit. To me, that strength of that unit is you put it on the board, people have to deal with it. You set that thing on an objective, people have to shoot you off there. It's not the offensive output that makes that unit a strong monster. And I'll do you one better. I love the Free Dwarfs one because you can give it the upgrade, which I believe the upgrade is 30 points. Nope, 25 points. And it gives it Inspiring Self, it gives it Scout, and it also gives it Fireball 10. Now, I know you guys are thinking that probably sounds kind of dumb, but look at it this way. In a Free Dwarf list, they move fast.
The Fireball's not bad. The Scout's pretty stupid.
Scout. But here's the thing with Scout, though.
Yeah, but you can't get that. You don't want to get him out of place, like, ahead of your army.
But Free Dwarves move faster. Because they move faster than the regular dwarves, right?
Well,
but I'm saying, but they do. They move faster. Free dwarves move faster. So with Scout, what's nice about him, though, with Scout, is that you get to move. You don't have to move your speed 6. You can move your full speed 12. Because shambling does not impact your Scout move. So now if you need to, let's say you got a tree line. Let's say you got a tree line with an objective right in the middle. Oh, crap. Well, now you can Scout, free 12-inch move your Greater Earth Elemental, get it into place earlier. 2 things. 1, that's going to get you wherever you need to go if you're holding an objective or whatever it is. 2, that's going to put some pressure on your opponent. Because now your opponent's like, oh, whatever, that thing's going to take forever to get to me. And now all of a sudden you're halfway across the board. That's why I picked the Greater Earth Elemental.
I could see it being good if you use a couple more units with Scout with it. I think just using it to get, out of position with it is probably a terrible idea.
And you're right.
But if you were able to like sneak down a flank or something like that with a unit or 2, or I could see that being good.
If you scouted on another side of the board too, right? So you're putting pressure on 2 different flanks or whatever, or spearheading. I mean, if you did a spearhead move where you move him up and then you have everything coming back in kind of like a triangular pattern where you're going to spearhead something, I think that wouldn't be bad either. Because let's be honest here.
You could use it for sure, and I think it could be good. But.
What is going to 1-turn kill a Greater Earth Elemental?
We've tested this a lot, and it's pretty hard.
Right, and then once it has support,
yeah,
you can forget it. Well, ironically enough, we actually had kind of sort of the same on the top 5. So Top 4. I'll lead off with with my number 4.
Okay, because mine's kind of weird. You're gonna be like, what?
This one was challenging because I actually had this at number 2 at first, and then it kept getting knocked down as I kept bringing up different monsters. But this one, I super enjoy the reanimated behemoth from the Empire of Dust.
I like that too. It's very cheap.
190 points.
Yeah, it's cheap for a big defense 6 fucking hammer unit.
Yep. Speed 6, 3 up melee, 6 up defense. It's got shambling. It's got strider. It's got drain life 6 if you want to for 30 points. You know, that's a little expensive. I don't know if I'd do the drain life, but maybe in a certain list build, maybe you want to. It's got life leech 1. It's got slayer D6, which is nice. So if you run it into an infantry horde, you can kind of do a little bit more, or any infantry, you do that extra bit of damage. Crushing 2. It has 9 attacks base, fearless 17. I know at first you're going, but for 190 points.
Yeah, no, it's good for the point cost.
Yeah,
sure.
defense 6 monster? I mean, that's pretty darn fearless defense 6 monster. And then it has life leech, so it has the ability to bring back wounds as well. Now, it's only life leech 1. It's not going to do a whole lot, but what are you doing with it?
It's defense 6, and as long as you don't get it out-positioned, and you're not taking a shit ton of attacks at crush 2 or crush 3,
right?
It adds up.
Yeah, so. It does. It really does. The other thing that I like about this is the shambling, which is nice. You can move, pivot, and then surge. It's got strider, so if you do have to surge through any type of obstacle or anything like that, you're not going to be messed up, right? I like the versatility that the reanimated behemoth gives, plus 190 points.
Yeah.
What is your number 4?
I could see that. So my number 4 is actually the planar apparition.
Ooh, okay.
Yep, because it is incredibly cheap, coming in at 165 points. The planar apparition heals. It's got mind fog. It's got dread. It's got ensnare. It's got stealthy, and it's got regen. And I think for like 165 points, that is an amazing support monster for sure. Well, the main ones of note I think are heal, mind fog, dread, ensnare, and stealthy, and regen.
Well, what's nice is
I don't know how many attacks it has because I didn't write it down because it probably doesn't have very many attacks. It's not an attacking monster.
It's not. That's not right, and it's not a damage output monster. However, it has dread. Yep. What's nice is dread stacks, and what I mean by stacking is that you can cast heal, right? You can heal a unit, and then still later on in that combat phase, you're going to get dread when you're doing combat.
Yeah, so basically you're bubble wrapping it, you're healing, and then you're also getting dread on top.
You're getting dread, exactly, for your combat resolution. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Combat resolution, you're getting dread, plus Mind Thirst. Is it Mind Fog or Mind Thirst?
Fog.
Oh, it's Mind Fog? Yeah. Oh, okay. Planar Apparition's Night Stalker, though, right?
Yep.
A lot of Night Stalkers have Mind Thirst, too, which helps you utilize the opponent's nerve.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that one has that.
Well, but let's be honest here. It's probably fearless. Let's be honest here. Do you really need it? Are people going to be targeting that?
No.
Or are you going to be targeting the freaking doppelgangers and the other crap that's right up front? Right? That's how I look at that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's an interesting pick for number 4. I actually really like that.
You don't have any evil... Do you have any evil armies?
No.
You don't, do you?
Nope.
You're all neutral?
Mm-hmm.
Neutral. Actually, you're all neutral.
All neutral.
All your shit's neutral.
It's all neutral, buddy.
Okay. It's going to lead me into my controversial number 3 pick.
Oh, God. Thunderwolves.
This is one that is going to be difficult for you to swallow. That didn't sound right.
Could you phrase it differently, please?
It's going to be difficult for you to... this is going to be a non-palatable one.
Difficult for you to take? No.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right either. I'm just going to say it. My number 3 is the Greater Fire Elemental.
What's wrong with that? That thing is awesome.
I like the Greater Fire Elemental.
Freaking ridiculous.
You know, when we were talking about in terms of synergy with other units, does this thing give a lot to other units, like inspiring dread? No, it doesn't
need to.
No, it is very specific in what it does, and it is a damage output beast.
Yeah, if you get a flank with this thing, we've tested it, it will auto kill anything you flank with it. Which, if you have Surge, is very easy to actually do.
Exactly.
Because it's a very small base. Yep. So you move it, turn it, Surge, flank, auto dead. It's just dead.
Exactly.
And actually, I thought about putting it on there, but I was like, I know he's going to put something like this on there, so I avoided it. But no, that thing is awesome.
The thing about the Greater Fire Elemental, speed 6. Good speed. Now it's shambling, so it's not super fast. But most things in Forces of Nature is not fast. So you don't really necessarily want to get out-positioned, right?
No.
You don't want to out-position your monster.
But, I mean, you can surge it. And everything you can surge is generally shambling, so.
Right. Melee 3 up, so it's going to hit good in melee. Defense 5, not bad. It's got 8 base attacks. Nerve is Fearless 18, but right here is the best part. 175 points.
For how much crush?
Crushing 3.
Okay.
Pathfinder, shambling, vicious melee.
Yeah, vicious. Yeah, with crush 3, that's...
And Fireball 8. Let's not forget Fireball.
Yeah, Fireball's good.
The one thing I've learned, especially if you guys watched the last battle report between me and Tom, it's good to have a little bit of shooting just as the end of game cleanup, even if it's Fireball. If all you need to do is put 1 wound on a stupid unit,
Damn.
even Fireball
Fireball in a shambling unit is good.
because you can move
Your full movement
position.
that you're allowed to move anyway.
You can shoot Fireball, and then another unit can surge you, so you're getting activation technically in all 3 phases.
Done it. It's fun. It's actually fucked up.
Yes, it is.
But, yeah.
Yes, it is. But again, it's Fireball 8. You know, on an average unit that has 4 up defense, you're going to do what, 2 wounds? Because you need force to hit. You're going to have 4 successes, and then of that, you're probably going to have 2 that actually wound if the unit has defense 4. So you're looking at probably 2 wounds. Is it that big of a deal? No. But if it's a unit that maybe is defense 3, or maybe it is defense 4, and you're gonna flank it, but you want to do 2 extra wounds just in case, why not?
Or you might get a lucky roll. You might
True.
get 4 wounds.
True. Or let's say somebody outpositions you. Let's say somebody jumps over you and is trying to get around, maybe to do a rear charge on you next turn or something like that. You turn them around, Fireball 8, and then you surge into them. It just adds a little bit of extra. Why not? For 175 points.
Yeah, that thing is really good.
And that's the biggest thing. I know you guys are going, man, there's so many other units out there that have more attacks, that have more of this, more of that. Cool, I understand.
Yeah, personally, I think that the water elemental, greater water elemental's a little bit better. It's more utility. You know what I mean? It's got regen. You can heal it. It's got pretty good attack profile. But, okay, so basically it does multiple things instead of just one thing. Right. But the fire elemental, if you want to flank something, surge, flank, kill, it's going to work every time.
I love the greater water elemental. I do. I love the greater water elemental. It's good. But the greater water elemental to me is like, it does a lot of things really good, but it doesn't do any one thing great. And that's what frustrates me.
But it's hard to kill.
Whereas the greater water or the greater earth elemental does one thing great. And so I guess if you're building a list and you need something with that,
if you want stuff that's one-dimensional, then yeah.
And maybe that's what that monster is in that list, though. Maybe it is one-dimensional.
Oh, it definitely is. But it is awesome.
But the greater water elemental, I mean, yes, I've seen you surge with it and get a flank. I've also seen you not kill the thing that you flanked with it, too.
Actually, that was a rear.
Oh, did you not kill it with the rear? Either way. Nope. Again, at that point, I mean,
that was just bad rolling, though.
Well, but still, it can happen.
God,
it can happen. It can even happen with a fire elemental, I'm saying. But luckily, you had regen, kept you around. And then I think I was actually able to then turn and flank. But whatever. Anyway, that regardless of that, Greater Water Elemental is awesome. I just think in terms of this, is it better than the Greater Fire? I don't know. That's tough. It's so subjective, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think the Greater Fire is better because it does its one thing very well.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the biggest difference. Whereas the Greater Water, not so much.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
All right. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is actually the Mutant Rat Fiend.
Oh, God, I hate the Mutant Rat Fiend. He was an honorable mention on my list.
Yeah, I mean, I started looking at it, and it was just like, wait a minute, this is a thing? Like, all these freaking rules. I mean, it's not going to kill anything by itself. Generally, I mean, you can get some pretty good juicy flanks with it, but, Radiance of Life for Vermin, Rallying, Regeneration, Strider, Vicious, and then the Abomination crap. Talk about just stupid. You just basically make this thing a centerpiece in your huge army of
fucking Mutant Rat Fiend.
I think it's a really solid unit, and it's fairly cheap for the most part, and I think the rally is very good. Run a big horde army and then stack 2 of these things and get rally 2. You know what I mean? And they're not expensive.
No.
220 is not bad.
Mutant Rat Fiend is not expensive.
It's got good movement. It's got good attack profile. It's fearless.
I played against it way too many times.
220. I mean, Radiance of Life. You could stack Radiance of Life. It's got regen, Strider, Vicious. Like, come on, that thing is awesome.
What kind of regen is it? Regen 5 up?
Regen 5 up, yeah. Strider, Vicious, Melee. It's got
also
10, and it's still got 10 attacks. I mean,
it's
so
Radiance
if you get
of
a flank,
Life.
that's 20 attacks hitting on 3s with Crush too. I mean, that's good.
Its Radiance of Life too is also better. I think it's Radiance of Life D3, right?
Yeah, with the Abomination crap, yeah.
Yeah. There's some good synergy there for sure.
Yeah, you can run 2 of those. And it's just
I've seen
nasty.
it. I've seen it before.
Yeah, I have too.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
I've seen it too. Yeah,
dick.
it's nasty. It's a good utility monster. That's why I picked it.
Yeah, for
mean,
sure. I mean, how many points is it? 190, 190?
220.
Oh,
220.
Used to be
But I mean,
cheaper,
it still
didn't
has 10 attacks, hitting on 3s with Crush too, with Vicious. And speed 7. I mean, it could definitely be a hammer.
I think it's an assist hammer, right?
It's
like, I
definitely
mean,
an assistant, but if you get a flank, that's 20 attacks hitting
Well,
on 3s
yeah, if you're
with
getting a
Crush
flank.
too, and Vicious. I mean, that's nasty.
that's not bad.
That's super nasty. Or you could literally just sit it behind your line and then just multi-charge everything while you're just Radiance of Life and everything.
I like that better.
D3 Radiance of Life is fucked up.
Yeah,
dude. It's way fucked up.
you're right.
Plus Rally, so you could double stack Rally. Who else can double stack Rally? Nobody. They nerfed the shit out of Rally.
And just so you guys are aware, it does go to a max of 2, so you can't like rally 10 or what did the ogres used to do? Rally 3 or rally 4?
What are you talking about? I never used to do that.
Oh, okay, going into number 2. As much as
Wait, what was your number 3?
my number 3 is the Greater Fire Elemental.
Oh, that was your number 3. Okay, go ahead.
Actually, I'll let you go with your number 2.
My number 2 is actually the Hellfane. The bane of both of our existences, because of Tom. The Hellfane is awesome. 265 points for a defense 6 unit with 9 attack. It's got a shooting attack, and it's got an aura. 265 points. 265 points. What is the aura? I think the aura affects like a bunch of different units around it too.
I can't remember what the aura does. I
I don't
know.
remember what the aura does either.
I know the Steel Behemoth has an aura of Iron Resolve.
Yeah, the Hellfane is
But-
barely more expensive than the Steel Behemoth, though, and it's like way better. So, yeah, no, the Hellfane is
Arguably.
awesome. I hate the Hellfane.
Arguably,
Yeah,
Hellfane's a pain in the butt. If I remember right,
it's just dwarves all over again. I mean, dwarves just have like really cheap units for what they're bringing to the table. And it's just like that all the way across the board. If I didn't hate the dwarves so much, I would totally play them and exploit the shit out of them.
I hate them too. So
I just have always hated dwarves. In lore, all the books, everything, I hate them. It just makes no sense to me how a midget can be that. Like, who's afraid of a midget? It makes no sense. No sense.
you ever seen Elf?
I've seen a lot of dwarf stuff, and it's just like, makes no sense.
Dude, Ronnie's gonna just completely annihilate the ogres.
That's what
next
needs to be
edition.
nerfed, Ronnie. Not the elves, the dwarves.
He loves the dwarves.
I know he does. Fuck him.
Oh, while Juicy is looking up that aura, I'm sure you guys have probably already posted or commented on what it is. My number 2, ironically enough, I've seen this in a couple of tournaments, and when I have seen it in a couple tournaments, I literally have wiped it off the table in like 1 or 2 turns.
So why the hell would it be on your top list then?
Because I see what it can do.
Okay.
This thing can be the total pain in the butt. However, I was very hesitant putting this on the list because I almost felt like that this unit gets way too much notoriety and it's like not worth it. But then I kept looking at it and I'm like, man, I can't like unsee this thing. Like I can't move away from it.
That's
and that
like
is
a car accident.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can't
And
look away.
yeah.
You can't unsee it.
And that is the Idol of Shobik.
Oh, dude, I love that. That almost went on mine, but I knew you were going to freaking add it. So I didn't put it on.
The Idol of Shobik, man.
That thing is so awesome.
I had a guy who moved it up to protect a flank. And realistically, it's not a bad flank protector. It's defense 6, speed 7, melee 3 up. Got 10 attacks, fearless 18. It's not a bad flank protector. It has aura of Iron Resolve, I guess.
Doesn't it have heal too?
It has heal 5.
So
Crush 3, Life Leech, Shambling, Strider, very inspiring. I mean, this is a solid unit. Unfortunately, I flanked it with a horde of Drakon Riders with, what did I give them? I think they had Vicious as well. So I flanked them, Horde Drakon Riders, with Elite and Vicious, and I took them off the board. Because that's what you do when you flank with a horde of Drakons. But still, just a solid unit, just not played the best by my opponent. I mean, and let's be honest here. If I hadn't have flanked him, he probably would have survived a frontal attack. But flanking, 18 attacks, now you're doubling it, now you're at 36 attacks on the flank. Plus I get rerolls. I mean... And I don't think he was in the forest or anything like that. So I'm Crush 1 or Crush 2 Thunder 1 or Crush 1 Thunder, whatever. Anyway, I had Crushing, put it that way. And yeah, I can't remember if I think I also Bane chanted him too. So I was hitting with extra and it was bad. It was bad. Yeah. But the Idol of Shobik though is still on my list because Defense 6, Fearless 18. Yeah, Fearless 18. I mean, Defense 6, Fearless 18, most anything. When you put that on the board, people have to deal with it, kind of like the Greater Earth Elemental.
What are the points?
That's the downside. 290.
Yep.
To me, that's a little expensive,
so I'm going to go ahead and play
inspiring.
Devil's Advocate a little bit here because Steph has been playing Empire of Dust, and I basically made her put that in there. And the reason why I don't think it's quite as good as it should be is because the heal. You're paying for the heal. You know what I mean? You're paying probably like 30 extra points because somebody somewhere was like, oh, I'll give it like heal 6, and this will be cool. 5. The problem is, you never heal with it. It is way too expensive. It's got defense 6. It's got an amazing attack profile. You do not heal with it. Ever. Like, you never find yourself in a situation where you can set that 300-point unit back for 2 turns, heal itself, heal other units. It's not a support unit. So that heal is adding way too much. It's too many points to the unit. It should be like 260, 250, and then it would be a solid unit and just drop the heal. It doesn't need heal. So you're paying too much for the heal, I think, because I've never had a situation where I've actually been able to tell the wife, like, okay, well, you should sit this back and support with this unit and heal. It's a 290-point unit that's got a badass attack profile in its defense 6. Maybe an extra life leech or 2. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like, the heal 6 is stupid. It's really stupid for that unit to have heal 5. Yeah, it really is.
I agree to a point. This unit, it does have Aura Iron Resolve, though. And it's very fine. Inspiring.
Yeah, all that's fine. That's that heal that you're paying the extra points for is stupid.
So would you say it would be better if it was like 260 and it didn't have heal?
Yeah,
would you feel it was better?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay. Maybe make it an option. Expensive. Maybe to make it an option where it's an upgrade. Where it's like, hey, if you want heal 5, it's 25 points or whatever.
Look at it this way. You run like a 230-point Greater Earth Elemental into it. It's going to be a slap fest. Like, that's going to suck. That thing might come out on top. It might not come out on top. But even if it comes out on top, how many turns is it going to take you to heal that damage back with your heal 5?
Well,
3 damn turns. 4 damn turns. It's out for the whole game.
Yeah, well, but then you've got Iron Resolve. It's going to get a wound back with Iron Resolve and a wound back with Life Leech.
I like all those extra rules. I just don't think that it's worth the extra 20 points, 30 points for heal 5.
Fair enough.
It's
fair
stupid.
Enough. Me, I'd almost use it as like a to me, the way I view, and this is just me viewing the Empire of Dust, I view them as like kind of like the Undead, where it's like wave after wave after wave. And I feel like that's almost like a second wave or a third wave coming in.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I understand, but it's still a 6-turn game. Potentially 7.
Right.
So
how much waves can you have?
How many waves can you have?
It's true.
That thing would have to sit there for 2 to 3 turns of healing to support anything adequately or heal its own wounds back.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally pointless.
For 100%. Sure. And if it had more heal, if it was like heal 7, heal 8, maybe that'd be a little bit more
What about
sustainable.
regen 6? What about keep the... Yeah, I know.
Actually, I'd rather have Iron Resolve because it's just auto wound. Auto get a wound back.
Or regen 5. Why not make it 300 points, give it regen 5? That'd be fine.
Yeah.
It's defense 6.
What was your number 2?
My number 2?
Hellfane?
Hellfane, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a good point of contention. I'm contentious with your number 2, and you're contentious with my number 2.
I had to kick that one out just because of that. Because Steph's playing Empire of Dust, and I basically been making her run that. Like, She's like, it's too expensive. And I'm like, just run the damn thing. It's awesome.
Question, though. Is it a
What
Titan
we have been
or is it a
playing around
monster?
with, though, too, is the Enslaved Guardian Archers.
Oh, dude, I love the Enslaved
Because
Guardian Archers.
their attack profile
They're awesome.
is so effing good.
Yeah.
So what I've
They're
been,
good
making,
in
what I've
both
been
phases.
making her do is like rip off like 3 hordes of shots at somebody, then
Mm-hmm.
surging in for the attack.
Yeah. Why not?
So good.
Why not?
So good. It's broken as shit.
Yeah,
So
it
broken.
is. They're not cheap, which is their balance, but still,
No,
you're
but,
gonna destroy pretty much
They're
whatever
almost
you
as
go
good
into.
as Enslaved Guardians.
Yeah. Well, no, they're better, I think, because they have a crossbow.
With the crossbow.
I mean, 36
then
inch
the
range
surgeon for the
with
attack,
piercing
yeah.
1 or 2.
Yeah, it's nasty. Super nasty.
However, the Idol of Shobik does have shambling too. I mean, you could always shamble it. I'm just saying.
It's a good unit. I just think it's overpriced.
Okay,
I
fair enough.
I think you're paying too much for the heal. But
Well, my number 1 will come as no surprise to you because I have fought against this unit time and time again, and it's still the bane of my existence. Thank you very much, Tom. My number 1 is the Steel Behemoth. I like it
points,
better than the
yeah.
Hailfane.
no, I mean for the points it makes sense. Yeah.
And what I like about it is Speed 5, which it's more than what it used to be. It used to be Speed 4. They moved that to Speed 5. And it has Wild Charge D3. So now you can't, what I used to like about it is that's fine. That thing's going to shoot at me. It's going to do whatever, but it still is max speed is 8.
Dude, I know.
Now you're looking at
It's
speed
bullshit.
10
Yeah, I know.
plus a possible 3. Now it's got possibly 13 inches on the charge. What the hell?
Yeah, why? Why are we
It's a
dealing with this?
freaking
Why are
Steel
we still
Behemoth.
dealing with this? I
Yeah,
don't
like
understand. I don't-
it can move that
I don't
far.
understand
Come
why-
on, that was
why-
the one
Yeah.
balancing aspect of this stupid unit that I was okay with was the fact that it only moved 4 inches. And if you wanted to
Yo.
shoot 4 pivot, cool, whatever. I can deal with you when I get to you.
I know.
But now making it more speed and wild charge, I have to deal with it sooner. It pisses me off even more, and that's one of the reasons why it's number 1 on my list.
It's so funny.
And the
because
attacks.
I'm just like, I've seen that buff too, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm just like, why? Why am I still dealing
And it's
with
range
this
4
fucking
up.
unit?
It's range 4 up. It's steady aim,
Yeah.
so it's
Well,
always hitting.
I used to just run like siege
Not always hitting,
breakers-
but
like
always,
siege
yeah.
breakers with
Yeah.
heavy crushing, and then I could deal with it.
You could outrange
then
it.
they nerfed that.
Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore.
Now what am I supposed to fucking do?
And attacks.
Bullshit.
D6 plus 12.
I know.
So you're possibly
know.
getting 13. Okay, 13's not bad. Or, especially if you flank with 13, that's 26. Or possibly 18.
Yeah.
18 attacks. Why?
Well, yeah. And
Why does the Steel Behemoth
you're
need
thinking,
that?
okay, well, this thing's going to be expensive. Like, I'm going to be able to blow through the
Oh, no.
infantry.
No.
I'm going to be able to blow through the infantry. That way I have enough shit to deal with this fucking thing. No, it's dwarfs.
245.
Yeah, it's
245.
dwarfs. It's dwarfs.
Yeah.
So, you can get a horde that is, like, tanky as fuck for
Yeah.
super cheap.
And
Yeah, I
you're
know.
thinking, oh, cool. The only saving grace
Yeah.
is that it is 17-19. You roll double sixes, you can waiver, or you can waiver it, right?
19's insane.
Oh,
That's
but
like a shit
guess what?
ton.
The other thing too, you roll boxcars, cool. It can't move. Oh wait, no, it's got headstrong because it's a freaking dwarf.
Yeah.
So
It's not a dwarf, though. That's what's... All right.
so
I'm about to freak the fuck out again.
crushing 3.
This isn't the first time we've argued
Strider.
about this bullshit.
So let's go over the rules here, just so you guys can all feel in my anger.
If you don't have a friend that's running at least 2 to 3 of these, you're not
friend's
you're
not
not
gonna
in our circle here because this is bullshit.
Speed 5, melee 4 up, not horrible. Range 4 up, not horrible. Defense 6, crushing 3, headstrong, strider, wild charge D3. Again, D6 plus 12 attacks. So you're getting at least 13. 17, 19 nerve,
How's this thing not
245 points.
10 points. You know,
Right?
that's what I'm saying.
245! 245.
No,
that
no,
thing
no,
should
no,
be
no, no.
freaking 290 to 300.
265. Do you think the Idol of Shobig is going to wreck one of those things? Fuck no, because it can't heal itself because it's getting attacked.
Well, it's going to get Iron Resolve, but...
That's
Okay,
one.
and
That's
then, to put the icing on the cake, and this is what really pushed it over for me. With one unit, you can add a 50-point upgrade
Yeah.
and make it Gollix Fury. So now we're looking at 295. You'd think, oh, that's fair, right? Hold on a second.
295 for what it already was. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
12-inch range on the shot, so you upgrade your shooting attack. Okay.
How many times has...
Oh, and I forgot
he
to
just-
say-
Has
Oh,
he
sorry.
just wiped a unit out with that fucking bullshit shooting attack?
Well, I forgot to mention on the shooting attack, it's 10 shots, mind you, at your height, which Steel Behemoth's like height 6, right?
Yep.
And it's also got piercing 1.
Why does it have
And a
piercing?
steady aim.
Yeah.
Isn't that dumb? If you
I think it's dumb.
If you go for
Yeah,
the
I'm
upgrade,
tired of dealing
if
with
you
this
add
fucking
50
thing.
points, okay, for 50 points, making it 295, this thing gets very inspiring because you need that with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Aura Iron Resolve for dwarves.
Oh, that's it? Oh, that's it? Just
Crazy.
Just a little shitty aura?
Yeah, Aura
For a super
Iron
tanky
Resolve.
Unit that's already super cheap as a...
Yeah, and then you're helping. You have synergy with the other units.
yeah.
So now if you're running it with other stuff, now not only
now
do you have very
So now
inspiring.
you can buff your other bullshit cheap fucking units also on top of it.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
right?
I
Oh,
don't-
and then
I don't see the
also
problem.
you get Gullix gun, which is 18-inch range shooting.
nothing.
It's 12 shots, and it's piercing 2.
Put this into perspective. Almost everything that I've put on this list is like half the power of this and almost the same cost of this.
Yeah.
This is actual bullshit.
Yeah,
It
295
actually
points.
is.
Not even 300, right? Idol of Shobig is what, 290?
290.
Base.
Yeah.
That's base, right?
And I don't think the Idol of Shobek can actually kill that.
No.
Even if it gets the first 2 attacks unimpeded by itself, I don't think it could kill it.
Exactly. Steel Behemoth with Gullix Fury, 295. Again,
Just
to
not very
recap,
balanced, Ronnie. I'm gonna call you out. This is bullshit.
Like,
Just saying.
come on.
I'm kinda
I know you
tired
can
of
only-
that.
I know an army
I'm
can
tired
only
of the
have
Steel
one.
Behemoths, man. Come on.
I'm so tired of them too. But let's again, 18-inch range, 12 attacks for the shot for his shooting attack.
Well, yeah.
Now I think it does lose steady aim.
Oh,
The
no.
one thing that it loses.
That's terrible.
Still though, piercing 2 for 12 shots.
I know. The Piercing 2 is really nasty. It's jacked up.
And then it has very inspiring and Aura Iron Resolve, which guess what? Aura Iron Resolve works on it, I believe. I'll have to look. I don't know if I think it gets its own Iron Resolve. Even if it doesn't though. It doesn't need it. It's defense 6. All right, 17, 19. You guys can see why that was my number 1 on here because you drop that thing anywhere. Now, I shouldn't say anywhere, but you
true.
drop that thing in the middle
That's
of the
true.
freaking
What about Tom? Gullix Fury? Hellfane? Steel Behemoth? 12 Hordes.
I don't
Like,
think
oh,
you can do a
awesome.
Hellfane and Gullix because I think Gullix is dwarves and I think Hellfane is abyssal. So I don't think you can have them
Oh,
together.
yeah, that could be.
There's only saving grace, but still.
I'm just tired of seeing him do this. And then
With
see
three-
like
with
12 more
three,
Hordes. And
yeah.
I'm just like...
Yeah, because
How?
they're so cheap. Because they're so again, even just the basic
What?
Steel
Oh,
Behemoth.
that thing is still defense 5? Like with 21, 23? Oh, that's...
The basic
do
Steel
I do about
Behemoth
that?
on here, 245, is okay. Most of my stuff is still a little bit cheaper, but it's also nowhere as good. Like nowhere as good. That thing is versatile. It's good in
Yeah.
shooting. It's good in combat. You have to deal with it unless somebody's stupid and puts it way out on the flank, which that's because they're dumb. But if they don't, and if they play it the right way, what are you gonna do? You gotta deal with
I mean, as long as it's supported, I don't know what you do.
it. Right.
I've been trying to figure this out for a year. And it just gets worse every year. At first I was just like, okay, Steel Behemoths suck. We can figure this out.
Yeah.
Then it was like, what the fuck is this? Oh, wait, what is this? And then, I'm just like, and then at the same time
Gullix
as
Fury.
all that crap is getting buffed, I'm getting nerfed, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So,
So with-
that's why I don't play ogres anymore.
So with that, what
no.
is your number 1?
My number 1 is going to make you laugh, actually.
God. Oh,
So,
no.
My number 1, from a
say
utility
tree herder.
standpoint, is actually the Monolith.
Okay. The Monolith
And I like the Monolith
from
because...
Empire of Dust.
Empire of Dust, yeah.
Okay.
So you basically have a 24-inch bubble of surge that does not require any line of sight whatsoever. And this thing is at least tough enough to where they have to like commit quite a bit of points actually to get back there and take it out.
What defense is it?
I think it's defense 5, if I believe. If I was reading correctly. But yeah, I like the Monolith just because I think... Because of the surge in the... Basically, you don't need
How
line
much
of
surge
sight.
is it? How much surge?
It's quite a bit. I think it's like 12 or something, 8 or 12.
We're doing a top 5 video and he didn't write down
I
stuff
didn't.
about his number 1
I did well
unit.
because I threw it in last minute. I'm like, you know what?
That's
Like,
true.
I like that.
He did throw it
I
in
like
last
that.
minute. That's true. That is true. I
So
will
the
give him
Monolith is defense 5. It has no attack profile. It's fearless 17 and it's 120 points. And that's why I like it is because it's 120 points, 24-inch range surge with no line of sight.
How much surge?
Surge 8. So basically,
Doesn't
you
it
can
also
surge
give somebody
anything.
inspiring or something too? Or no? Am I thinking of something else?
I don't think it does give inspiring. I can look at it real quick though. No.
Still, Fearless 17 is probably a,
for 120 points though.
yeah. I mean that's super cheap. You're gonna auto include that into your Empire of
Yeah,
Dust.
and
army.
there's no reason not to because you don't even
Surge
need line
8
of sight.
is- Surge 8 is
24-inch
nice.
range. That's basically the entire fucking board.
For utilitarian purpose, I like that. I like that you approached it differently. Again, you approached the whole list building process differently than I did, which is nice. We did have a couple of things the same, right? Or the steel.
Yeah, but it would have been worse. Like it would have been,
totally.
Like maybe one different.
Yeah. But number one, I think that might be a stretch for that, but definitely a top 5 because it's 120 points. You're right. And what does that do? Well, first of all, it's fearless. It's a monster. So you can sit it on an objective that's on the back of the board, right? Maybe
or
people
if
like me.
There's like a tree line right in the middle of the board. You can just move it up to the tree line, and you can surge anything on the board, pretty much, just about. Yeah. And you don't need line of sight.
Yeah, and again,
so you can just hide it.
When you're thinking of a unit to hold back to hold an objective, there you go, right there. Yep. Because there's always, I like to do that to people, especially when they have a very alpha strikey army. I like to throw an objective or a loot counter or something way in the back so that it forces them to have to hold a unit back. Because then what does that do? That effectively kills a unit, right? That effectively takes a unit out that they otherwise could attack with. And I like to screw up people's synergy of their armies when I do that. So for that, you could drop that dude on there, and then you're like, huh, cool. My dude's still going to do what he's going to do. I got 24-inch range. I can still cast my surge. Oh, and I'm holding an objective.
Yep.
Yeah, for 120 points. Which is what the same cost of a regiment of archers, elf archers.
Whoop-de-fucking do.
Right? And it's going to do more because it's going to surge. Yeah. It's going to surge 8, which is a good amount.
You need to save those points for the Idol of Shobig.
And your reanimated behemoth.
Yeah, you got to
do points. A nasty
Actually, the reanimated behemoth for 190 points is actually really good value.
That's why it's on my top 5 list.
Yeah, just because I see what the dwarves get, and I'm just like, ooh.
Well, and that's so. You guys obviously heard us in the beginning of the video. I started off with the steel behemoth as number 1, and I was like, what?
For the points,
monster can do better than this
for the point cost.
I
don't know, and it just keeps getting buffed. I don't know what the fuck to say.
And then you look at the upgrade, and you go, wow. So for 295, what could anything do better than that? And that's how I made the list. Is I put that one up top.
Just about 1v1 almost anything in the game. Yeah. I feel like.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Some could actually kill Gullux Fury outright in 1v1 combat for about the same cost.
I think I can only say that happened to me one time.
I want to know.
Tom, in a rare freaking
going off
thing,
laws of average too, using averages, right?
I flanked him one time. I don't remember if it was a Hellfane or it was a steel behemoth of some type. Don't remember if it was Gullux or not. I was able to flank him with a Horde of Palace Guard, and I did Bane Chant them.
That's Palace Guard, though. That's a little different.
That one, I was able to take it off in one turn. But we're talking out of a couple hundred games. I've done that once, and I've maybe taken out the Steel Behemoth maybe a handful of times. Other times, it's usually still there. Oh, except when I nuked it with...
you have to keep in mind that they don't have the same movement as Gullux Fury. So Gullux Fury is going to get one round of shooting on him first.
You got it. Yeah, you're going to take that. Yeah. I think he was actually combat res, so he was actually...
Wait, did you flank it?
Yeah, I'd flanked it. So what happened was he had charged into something. Yeah, he had charged into something, and then I think that unit had held on either a waiver or an insane courage, and then I was able to flank. So I got him stuck. Which
so if you got super lucky and you get a flank, which is totally cheating on the value, right?
Yeah.
Then you're able to kill it.
Yeah.
With Bane Chant, which would actually bring that unit to more. Bane Chant, if you were running basically one more crushing, what is the item? So
Brew of Strength.
So it'd actually be more.
Yeah, Brew of Strength. And then you're thinking, yeah, for sure. For sure. But again,
I'm talking charging in.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Just on the board, you're not planning to kill a Steel Behemoth. This is just something that you're running.
Yeah, I want to know what can actually kill it.
The only other time that I made him worry about it is when I had my Necro with, I think it was it a Lich King? It was either a Lich King or a Necro. And I had Alchemist Curse, and I Alchemist Curse it.
Yeah.
And that one, that one really worried me.
I don't do lists anymore without Alchemist Curse. I mean, it's just...
Well, because we face Steel Behemoths all the time.
Yeah, it's just defense 6 all the effing time. Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Alchemist Curse. You know what? I want to be able to run 3 Alchemist Curses. That's what I want to run.
I don't know about that.
Or 2. At least 2. Come on. It's a little 2 Alchemist Curse. What's wrong with that? So then you go to the tournament, you see these people who are just stacking all defense 6. You have a little bit more to deal with it.
Yeah. Possibly.
You know?
Possibly.
They nerfed my siege breakers.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, you used to have Thunderous 3 and Thunderous 1
Crush
and
3,
Crush 3.
Thunderous 2 or
Super
something.
awesome.
Crush,
and that was
whatever.
bullshit because as soon as I found out I started using them, then they were nerfed by the next time I tried to use them. It's like the perfect counter to the dwarves too.
It was.
It really was. And that's gone.
Well, guys, that's our top 5 list. Sorry, we've had a lot to talk about because we haven't done one of these.
He's
going to
cut a lot of this out. It's all right.
I might not.
Yeah, well,
we'll see. If it's good banter and I think people are going to like it, I'm going to keep it in.
People don't like to see us just bullshit for fucking 3 hours. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, you're
Sadly.
gonna have to cut some of it out.
That's why our podcast didn't really do very well. But,
Podcast did do well at the time for how many people we had subscribed to the.
That's true. That's
it
true.
actually did the best.
That is true. Maybe it's something we have to look into. Guys, would you be interested in us doing a podcast again? Let us know in the comments. If you're still...
We'll talk about anything.
Oh, yeah. We will literally rant about damn near anything. And not just Kings of War related. Like, we'll go off on tangents all
Yeah, if you guys
day
want to
long.
get on with us in bullshit, too.
Yeah, by all means.
That would actually be fun.
If you guys are still watching, because this is obviously the end of this video, thank you so much. Again, like, comment, subscribe, let people know about the channel.
Give us some perspective in the comments. Don't just say stupid shit like Wade. Give us some perspective.
Yeah, let us know what's going on.
Make your point, make it make sense. Don't just say stupid shit.
Yeah. And but leave a comment though. Let us know. Do you guys agree with our lists? Do you guys agree with the way that we approach these lists? Do you guys have your own lists? If you have them, cool. What are they?
Actually, I'm curious to see what other people are thinking too.
It's always fun, man. It's always fun whenever people throw out like a couple of top units, and I'm like, what? It's something. Usually, it's way different than what I would think, and that's what's cool about the game is that this is something that we all love, something we all enjoy, and we all can have a different opinion on it. And it doesn't mean that anybody's right or wrong.
These little things are kind of cool too because really you're limited to what your army is, right? So you don't actually get to go outside of your own army and look at what other armies have and why are people not running more of this,
Yeah.
Because ogres, I got the big deal. That's what I got. That's my monster. That's all right. It's pretty good.
You got a giant too, right?
Yeah,
And a mammoth.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, that was the other thing I forgot too.
Huh.
Hopefully I haven't cut this out of the video. The steel behemoth, you know what it also is? It's a chariot.
Yeah,
So you know what that
I
means?
forgot about that.
When you charge into something with phalanx, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, why is that a thing?
I mean,
why is that a
well,
thing?
they had to do it to make chariots still viable. Because otherwise chariots would get
No, that's
kicked to the
fine for
wayside.
chariots. I just don't understand why that is a chariot.
I know, right? Right?
Bullshit.
Yeah,
Dude,
anyway, one more thing.
Ronnie, I hope you're at fucking Adepticon this year, because I'm going to bitch about this. 100%. I bitch about the elves. The elves got a nasty nerf, right?
Yeah. It took him, what,
Although he
a
did
couple
say
of
that it
years.
sucked,
Well,
which was
he did.
funny, actually.
He did. I mean, you just got to play better.
And I was like, hey, you're right. I do suck.
Let us know what you guys think. Sorry, it's been a little bit since we posted. We're gonna try and post some more stuff here. Hopefully within the coming weeks. Now that he's, not all slinged up and hopped up on Oxy and everything else.
Yeah.
Him being loopy probably wouldn't make
good
good
times.
videos.
It was the bad times. It was like pop a pill, shit ton of pain, pass out for 2 hours, wake up like, oh fuck, what
Not
the hell?
knowing where you
take
were.
a pee, and then pass out for another 2 hours.
Pissing off your balcony.
Yeah, that
not
was
knowing
like
where you were.
4 weeks, just gone, out of it.
Yeah. So hopefully, guys, we'll be able to get some more content out that's like this. If you guys want us, we're still going to do battle reports. We're probably not going to do them quite as often because it feels like maybe if we space them out a little bit better, maybe you guys will watch them more. I don't know.
I think we just need to get different armies.
Yeah, and we're working on it, guys. It's just any of you guys that play the game, you guys know how hard it is to pull up a whole nother 2,300 point army. It's not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah,
we are looking at.
We're both very busy too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wish we had more time for this, but we don't.
And we are looking at firefight. So
I've
be nice to
probably
get some
about
firefight
1,000
games in.
points painted, maybe close to. I think you have maybe more than that.
I mean, I could use some 40k stuff.
I could use some 40k stuff too.
Not that I
Space
really
Marines.
would like to, but we could use some of that if we had to kit bash. I think I got some 40k orcs that I could use with my.
I just had all termies though, like Thunderhammer, Storm
Yeah.
Shield termies. I don't know what the fuck those would be.
I don't
They
know
don't really convert well.
Sorry, 40k bad. Mantic stuff good. Let us know if you guys have any ideas for future content. If you guys want us to go over stuff, we're looking at possibly maybe going over some army lists and just going, hey, what do we like about the elves? What do we like about the abyssal dwarves?
I don't like anything about the elves or the dwarves. So, that's an easy
What do we like
list
about
for-
forces of
it's-
nature?
It's easy for me. But
Let us know if you guys have anything else that you guys would want us to do as far as video-wise. Again, we're going to try and get some more content out here in the future. It's just difficult to do with schedules and stuff like that. So
yeah, the surgery is limiting, and so whatever. It's work stuff and studying, and yeah.
But with that,
Whatever.
guys, see you guys later.